Right now, millions of Americans are lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, asking the same question: how am I going to make it next month? Rent is up, groceries are up, medical bills are up, but your Social Security check? It's not stretching the way it used to. And when every dollar matters, even a small mistake can cost you big. Missed letters from SSA, small paperwork errors, banking problems, eligibility reviews you didn't know were coming, and suddenly, your payment is delayed, reduced, or worse, stopped. This video is about your family, your bills, and your future. Because January 2026 isn't just another month on the calendar. It's when new reviews, new rules, and new system checks can hit your benefits all at once. And if you don't act early, you could be reacting instead of protecting. So stay with me, because what you'll hear today could save your next payment and possibly your entire year. System changes, piece tighter reviews. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to talk about. Social Security is tightening up its review systems, not to punish you, but to control rising program costs and prevent errors. But when systems get stricter, legitimate people get caught in the middle. Here's what's increasing in 2026: income verification checks, address and banking audits, disability status reviews, immigration and residency confirmations. These aren't rumors. These are routine SSA processes that hit hardest when updates roll out at the start of the year. And January is when many of these checks restart. That means if your information is outdated, incomplete, or mismatched, your payment can be flagged. And once your account is flagged, it doesn't matter how long you've been receiving benefits. Your case can still be delayed. Mini summary: it's not about what you did wrong. It's about what the system can't verify. And that's where problems begin. Why this hits harder in 2026. So why is January 2026 such a big deal? Because several financial and data systems reset and sync at the start of the year. IRS income records, Medicare eligibility files, state assistance databases, banking verification systems. When these systems sync, any mismatch can trigger a hold. Maybe your income changed. Maybe your bank merged. Maybe you moved and didn't update your address. Small changes to you, big red flags to automated systems. And here's the scary part: many delays don't start with a phone call. They start with a silent flag on your account. Then your payment doesn't show up. And now you're scrambling. That's why protection has to happen before January, not after. Because once your check is delayed, fixing it can take weeks, sometimes months. And during that time, bills don't pause, pharmacies don't wait, rent doesn't stop. Who is most at risk right now? Let's talk honestly about who's most vulnerable to payment problems in 2026. If you fall into any of these groups, you need to pay extra attention. SSI recipients with part-time or seasonal income. SSDI recipients who tried returning to work. Seniors who changed banks or moved. Anyone receiving housing or food assistance. People who haven't logged into their SSA account recently. And here's the part that shocks people. Even if your benefits have been stable for years, that does not mean your account won't be reviewed. Reviews are random, automated, and data-driven, not personal. So stability doesn't equal immunity. And when your only reliable income is Social Security, even a short delay can trigger overdraft fees, missed medication, utility shutoff notices, credit damage. This is why protecting your benefits is no longer optional. It's survival planning. The biggest mistake people make now. Listen carefully, because this is where millions of people get it wrong. They assume SSA already has their correct information. But SSA does not automatically know when. You change your phone number, you switch banks, you start or stop working. Someone moves into or out of your home. And if SSA doesn't know, they can't verify you. Which leads to the worst words anyone wants to hear. Your benefits are temporarily suspended pending review. And let me be clear, temporary does not mean quick. It can mean document requests, in-person appointments, re-verification interviews, appeals, all while you're waiting on money you already earned. Mini summary: no update equals no protection, and no protection equals risk. What you should do right now, before January. Now let's shift from fear to action, because this is where you take back control. Here are the most important steps you should take right now. Log into your My Social Security account. Check your address, phone, and email. Confirm your banking information. Review reported income. Look for unread messages. If anything is outdated, update it immediately. If anything looks wrong, contact SSA before January. And yes, it can be annoying. Yes, hold times are long, but I promise you, it's easier than trying to fix a frozen payment later. Think of this as locking your doors before a storm, not after your house floods. Protection beats recovery every single time. What most people don't know, now here's the part almost no one talks about, so listen closely. Even if your payment isn't stopped, you can still lose money without realizing it. How? Because some reviews lead to benefit recalculations, overpayment notices, backdated deductions, meaning SSA may decide you were paid too much in the past and start taking money out of future checks. No warning, no vote, just automatic deductions. And that's when people panic and say, "Why is my check smaller?" But the truth is, the decision was already made months earlier in a data review. This is why checking your account now matters more than waiting, because once deductions start, reversing them is much harder. Cost of living versus real living. Let's talk about COLA for a second, because a lot of people think increases solve everything. Yes, cost of living adjustments help, but let's be real. Your expenses are rising faster than official inflation numbers. Food, insurance, rent, co-pays, transportation. So even when checks go up, your buying power still goes down, which means every dollar of your benefit matters more than ever. That's why losing even $50 a month to deductions or delays can push families into crisis. And when politicians debate numbers, you're the one deciding which bill gets paid first. That's the reality. So protecting your full payment isn't about comfort. It's about survival. How? How delays affect your other benefits. Here's another danger most people don't expect. When your Social Security payment is delayed, it can affect other programs connected to your income, like Medicaid, Medicare subsidies, SNAP food assistance, housing assistance. If systems show your income changed or stopped, your eligibility can be questioned automatically. So now one problem becomes several problems. And fixing multiple agencies at once? That's overwhelming, especially when you're already stressed. This is why prevention matters, because one frozen check can create a chain reaction that's hard to stop. What to do if you're already having problems? Now, if you're watching this and thinking, "Wait, my payment was already late," don't panic. Here's what you should do immediately. Log into your SSA account and check notices. Call SSA early in the morning for shorter waits. Ask specifically if your account is under review. Request written confirmation of next steps. And if documents are required, send them certified or electronically when possible. Do not assume it will fix itself. Because silence from SSA does not mean progress. It just means your case is waiting in line. And every day matters when bills are due. Why you must pay attention to SSA mail. Let me give you one of the most painful truths in this entire system. Most benefit problems start with a letter people never opened. Sometimes it looks like junk mail. Sometimes it arrives weeks late. Sometimes people don't understand what it means. But that letter is your warning. And if you miss the response deadline, decisions can be made without you. So please, open every piece of mail from Social Security. Even if it stresses you out. Even if you're afraid of bad news. Because knowing early gives you options. Knowing late takes away your choices. Your benefits are not a guarantee forever. This part is hard to hear, but it's honest. Social Security is a promise, But it's also a program that depends on rules, budgets, and verification, which means no benefit is completely untouchable. Not because you did something wrong, but because systems change and policies shift. And that's why staying informed is power, not politics, not panic, just preparation. When you understand what's coming, you move from fear to control. And control gives you stability, even in uncertain times. What you must remember. Let's quickly recap, because this is critical. January 2026 brings new system reviews. Outdated info can trigger delays. Even stable benefits can be flagged. Overpayments can reduce future checks. One delay can affect multiple programs. But the good news is, most of these problems are preventable with account checks, info updates, paying attention to notices, acting early instead of late. This is about being proactive, not afraid. Why staying informed protects your family. Here's something powerful I want you to think about. When you protect your benefits, you're not just protecting yourself. You're protecting your spouse, your children, your ability to stay independent, your ability to afford care. And in today's economy, that independence is everything. Because once financial stress hits, it spreads fast through families. But when you stay ahead of the system, you reduce emergencies. And that's what this channel is about, helping you stay ahead, not catch up. Let me end with this, because it matters more than anything. You worked for these benefits. You paid into the system. You deserve stability, not surprise. But stability doesn't come from ignoring changes. It comes from paying attention and acting early. So here's what I want you to do today. Check your SSA account, watch for mail, stay informed, and never assume no news means no risk. And if this video helped you understand what's coming, subscribe and stay with this channel, because the rules keep changing, and the only way to protect your wallet is to stay one step ahead of the updates. Your future matters, your payments matter, and your financial security is worth protecting. I'll keep bringing you the updates. You just make sure you don't miss them.